Okay, so this is our physics project about trebuchets. That is a trebuchet, and it throws things. And this is a physics project. The forces that would be acting on the trebuchet in just a moment, when we launch the field hockey ball that way, are going to be very diverse. And the first and most obvious force is being exerted by the counterweight downward. And that's the force due to gravity. And right now it's potential energy because it's not moving, it's just sort of hanging there, being very dangerous and very heavy. And the second force exerted on it would be the force pulling upward on the pin. Now the force is being pulled upward here because the force is going downward over there, and because of the properties of levers it's being magnified because this end is much longer than that end. Works out in our favor. Now once it's launched, the third force is going to be a force of tension on the string leading to the sling. Now that's going to pull the ball, this ball, it's going to pull it that way. And it's going to go out here, and centripetal force is going to force the ball to the outside of the sling and make it go around in a big arc. When it gets to the top of the arc, the pull is going to pull this loop off of the end of the trebuchet, thus releasing the ball and hurling the ball that way with about as much force as that is pulling downward. And that's about 70 pounds of very heavy things. And so we should see this go pretty far. So we're going to launch it. Let's go. Safety first. Let's go.
Yeah, so we just threw that from way up there. Yep, there it is. Alright, so a couple of things that go into the trebuchet here that you should know about are the length of this arm. The length of the arm needs to be about, this side needs to be about 3 times the size of this side, so that you have more pull going on there. You need to make sure that your counterweight is extremely heavy. Eventually the weight will get too heavy and it won't matter how heavy it is. You should also take into consideration where your release point is. We actually had to test this out, and we ended up lengthening the rod for the release point. Alright, in a couple seconds you're going to see Sean shoot the trebuchet straight at me. That was dangerously close. That was very close. So, standing next to it, looks like it makes a height of about 2.5 times Sean. Sean, how tall are you?
6'2".
Sean's 6'2", so it's probably about 18 feet tall.
Something like that. Would that stick on it? Yep.
That's impressive to say the least.
How far would you say we're hitting?
I would say that's probably about 100 yards.
Maybe.
No, maybe 70 yards. Somewhere around there.
Oh. Maybe we can break it this time.
And so what we found out is that the weight and the release point are dependent and interdependent and rely on each other.
That's right. In case we haven't explained it previously, the way our release point works down here is that when the sling is going, the centripetal force pulls on these ropes. And it's usually pulling at an angle, but when it's exactly at its peak, it's pulling straight up, which pulls this eye bolt straight off the rod here. Now, if the rod was only this long, it would release immediately at the top of its arc. By lengthening it, we can control how far after the top of its arc it's released, thus changing the release time and, you know, when how far it goes. And so we found that this length right here is the optimum length for throwing things, the weight at which we have. Lacrosse ball, take one. Shit.
Did you hear that, Toad?
Ready?
Ready when you are.
Good. There we go. Good?
Yep. Yeah.
They're not fighting you.
Okay, this is another field hockey ball.
My son and daughter went there now.
Let's give it a launch then.
Let's do it. Go. This is a rock. That's
Fire.
a trebuchet. That's a monkey fist.
With a tail. Hockey puck. Orange ball. Fire.
Fire in the hole. That's the furthest one by far. That is the furthest we've gotten this to throw.
Damn.
I think it's because we prayed to the great and powerful Oz. That's the baseball. Softball. Okay. Okay, basketball. And the crossbar.
And that rock.
And the rock that we threw. Oh, and another
Oh, this is
field hockey ball.
accurate.
It is very precise. That's where we threw from. That's right, folks. We're crazy enough to launch a field hockey ball inside a duct tape roll. Fire when ready.
Fire in the hole. This is a trebuchet, and this is a bomb. There's a fuse on it.
Sean's loading the bomb on the trebuchet. And he will launch it. First he's got to light it. And it's lit. Oh boy, it lit on the ground. And that was a failure.
That's a bottle rocket.
Hurry!
I'm proud.